Hello, Moonbeams. Welcome back to my channel, Mystic Moon School. This is Donna Cass, and I am here with a Virgo New Moon video for you today, where we are going to go through where this Virgo New Moon is showing up for all 12 signs. What house, what area of life this is showing up in your natal chart based on your rising sign. And so it is obviously helpful if you know your chart, if you know your rising sign, but certainly you can listen to this video based only on your sun sign, if you only know your sun sign, which is obviously your birthday, right? Your birthday sign. And you can also go to any number of websites. I like astroseek.com if you're interested in getting your chart done to put in your birth information. You do need your birth time, though, if you're going to have an accurate chart made. And also you will need to put in a whole sign chart, because I read the chart through the whole sign chart system. And that will correlate to your rising sign based on the whole sign chart system. Okay, so putting all of that aside, you can certainly listen for your birthday sign. You can listen for, which is your sun sign. You can also listen for your moon sign if you do know your chart. And those energies are going to be, I would say, more emotional, more internal. And those are going, you'll definitely feel those energies as well. You can also, of course, listen to this with someone else in mind, right? So if you know somebody else's sun, moon, or rising. Finally, I would like to say that despite whether you know your big three or not, just listening to the energies that are playing out in the different signs. Remember, we have all 12 signs in our chart, every one of us. And so I may say something about, I don't know, Cancer or Pisces, and it just resonates for you at this time. You're just like, you know what? That's exactly what I'm going through right now. That's where my focus is. And so I'm going to take that. I'm going to take that with me. So just trust your intuition. That's going to be a big word for this Virgo new moon. So trust your intuition, trust your gut feeling about what resonates for you, irregardless of your sign or not. Okay. So I just like to give you a little bit of an overview about what this Virgo new moon is all about. I'm going to give you some key words here. First of all, healing is really, for me, healing and intuition are the two biggest energies for this new moon. And Virgo, in her highest expression, is a healer. And when I say a healer, I mean she is dedicated to her own healing journey. And by virtue of doing so, she then brings healing to others, either passively or actively, right? Just by being a healed version of ourselves, the way we show up in the world then ripples out to everyone and everything that we touch, that we experience. And so Virgo absolutely values and embraces holistic healing. Not just the mind, even though she is ruled by Mercury, the mind, right? Communication. Mercury is the messenger of the gods, right? And so we receive that divine communication right into our thoughts. That is Mercury influence on Virgo, certainly. And Virgo is very, very good at that analytical deduction and organizing her thoughts and organizing her world. But in her highest expressions, that's not all that she does. She also deeply values and trusts her intuition, right? Her inner knowing. And when Virgo is in her highest expressions, or her illuminations, as I like to call it, she embodies that sovereign maiden energy where she is whole to herself, and she is connected to her purpose and her passion, what lights her up. She is not jaded or cynical. In fact, She has a hopefulness and an innocence where she approaches life from a place of curiosity, which is also that Mercury influence, actually. And she's open to new experiences and growth. And she's also ruled by Chiron, the wounded healer, right? Which ties back in this whole healing energy, where yes, she is dedicated to her own healing and whatever manifestations that may need to take place, mind, body, spirit, and she does it in a very holistic way. Okay. So these are the beautiful energies that this Virgo new moon is really shining. Even though it's a new moon and we cannot see the moon in the sky, the energies are potent. This is a new beginning, a new cycle. There's one more planetary aspect that I do want to bring into this discussion, and that is on the day of the full moon and then exact the day after, Venus, the planet of love, first and foremost, self-love, which is another theme of this Virgo new moon, is going to be conjunct the South Node, what we are releasing, what we are done with, in Libra, our relationships with others, relationship with self, relationship with really truly anything, right? Anything in life we have a relationship with. And so that is significant that this is happening at the time of the new moon, because we are being asked by Venus and the South Node. We are being asked by Virgo. We are being guided to come back to self, our sovereign being, to come back to our inner knowing, our intuition, and to come back to a healed sense of self, where we trust ourselves. We do not abandon ourselves for others, right? At our own detriment. No, we do not abandon ourselves. We choose ourselves first, and that is not selfish in a negative way. That is necessary, and that is healthy. Healthy, that is the axis of Virgo, right? And Pisces, which, by the way, this Virgo new moon is leading us into eclipse season in a couple of weeks. We are going to have the Pisces lunar eclipse. And so this Virgo new moon is I'm seeing it as like a gate down a corridor that is leading us into the eclipse season that begins with that Pisces lunar eclipse on September 17th. And so this Virgo new moon is really guiding us to focus on our own healing now. What have we healed thus far? How can we really acknowledge and validate for ourselves what this healing journey has been, how far we have come, truly? I mean, are you even the same person you were 6 months ago, a year ago, 3 years ago? I highly, highly doubt it. You have grown and evolved so much, and this Virgo new moon wants us to acknowledge that, but also be accountable and grounded and say, okay, but the healing's never done, and I'm ready for the next. I'm ready to work on, because Virgo is that earth sign, and she has a wonderful work ethic and a focus and attention to detail, true accountability, self-awareness, right? All of these beautiful qualities are going to lead us on the next steps in our healing journey. Okay, I think that's all I want to say about the overall Virgo energies for this new moon. And I just want to remind you that the new moon, the days leading up to the moon is waning. She's losing energy, she's losing light, but that is so that she can go within, so that she can be introspective, so that she can rest and reflect. This is a beautiful moment for us to take some quiet time. In fact, I'm really feeling that this new moon is a quiet new moon. It's a solitary, sovereign new moon. And so I would invite you to carve out some alone time and really love on yourself. Think about and reflect upon the ways that you have been choosing yourself, choosing what is best for you, choosing what is best for your well-being, your spiritual, your emotional, and your mental health, your physical health. Absolutely, Virgo is very much about the body as well. Okay. So, alrighty. So now I'm going to get into the individual signs, and this is based on a whole sign chart, and I am speaking about the rising signs now and where the Virgo new moon is going to be showing up in your chart based on your rising sign in a whole house system. I'm going to begin with the beginning, with Aries. By the way, I hope you really enjoy these these cat and dog depictions of the signs. I had a lot of fun with these. I made these for my moon sisters at Moon School when we were finishing up our spring season, and I used this new AI feature on Canva, and it's so super fun. And so I hope you enjoy these. Okay, and I'm going to have each sign time-stamped below. So here we go. Okay, so for Aries, this is taking place, this Virgo new moon is taking place in your 8th house. Okay, and this is the house of depth, of intimacy, of death and rebirth. This is the house of sexuality and intimacy and entanglements even. This 8th house of depth is all about going deep and understanding the why. So what I would ask of you, Aries, at this Virgo new moon is, are you able to go a little bit deeper, trust your intuition, value your intuition, ask at this Virgo new moon, what is needing healing now for me? What aspect of my life, of my being, is needing more self-love, more coming back to self? That can be very healing for me at this time. That is where this Virgo new moon is showing up for you in the 8th house. Okay, let's move on to Taurus. This is happening in the 9th house. The 9th house is expansion. The 9th house, yes, can very much be about world travel. And so maybe you are something about traveling somewhere in the world is showing up for you this week. In fact, this is, really interesting, but it could be that you want to travel somewhere and this is coming into your awareness. It could be that, somewhere is really calling to you, but it doesn't have to play out that literally. It could be an expansion of your beliefs, of your consciousness, of the way you are thinking about something specifically, that you want to learn or teach something, and that's really calling to you at this time. That could really feel very healing for you on a deep personal level. So this new moon in Virgo is asking, how can you expand in a healing way? Maybe it is by taking a trip, right? Maybe it really is, and that is going to be you coming back to yourself because it feels so right for you to travel to this place. You will know how this is resonating for you, my beautiful Tauruses. Okay, so let's see. Now we're going to move to Gemini, and I'm just going to write this down. Oops, I don't even know if I wrote down for Taurus, but I'll go back and I'll try to fix that. Okay, so let's see. For Taurus, this is happening. I am losing it, you guys. I'm totally losing it. I just said Taurus and I meant Gemini. And I'm looking at these cute little twin Gemini doggies here. in all their beautiful colors, and I still said Taurus. So forgive me. Okay, so for Gemini, this is then happening in your 10th house. So this Virgo new moon is showing up in your most public area of life. How people know you in the outside world, not in your home space, but like in the world. So that could be your career, but not everybody has a career outside of the house or a job outside of the house. Sometimes it's just your role that people know you as out in the world, right? You are, so-and-so's mom, right? So-and-so's partner. You are, volunteering at blah, blah, blah organization. You're the Girl Scout leader. You're the PTO mom. You're whatever it is. You get the idea, right? Like it could absolutely be who you are in your career. But this 10th house energy is asking you to whatever is coming up for you at this new moon in your public persona, in your career, whatever that is for you. Does it feel healing? Does it feel true to who you are now? Do you feel you have sovereignty and independence, that you are honoring what your needs are, your total holistic health? This is a checking in point for you to see, is your career or your public persona really truly in line with who you are now? Okay, that is the question for you at this Virgo new moon. Okay, so now we're going to move to Cancer, and this is showing up for you in the 11th house. And so the 11th house is all about friendships, groups, communities, and it's also about your hopes, dreams, and wishes. So for my Cancer rising, you want to take a look at your friendships. Are they healing for you? Do you feel that they feel like healthy friendships? And if not, is there a way for you to advocate for yourself in these friendships where you can bring a healthier dynamic to them? Or remember, Venus is at the South Node, letting go. So, or are you feeling like there are friendships, groups, or communities that you're involved with that you're just done with now? You're ready to move on because they just don't align with who you are at this point, this new healed version of yourself. So that's something, right, for you to really sit with and be honest about, and choose yourself first. That's what Virgo wants for us all. Okay, so now we are going to be with Leo, and this beautiful Virgo new moon is showing up in your 12th house. Now, the 12th house is really the most introspective, internal house in the chart. And so you may really be feeling like you want to be alone. You want some solitary alone time. You want to meditate. You want to go for a walk in nature. You just don't feel like answering anyone's messages or texts or emails or phone calls. Like you're just wanting to go within. Maybe you're wanting and needing more rest at this new moon. If this is all true for you, then please honor that, because this is showing up in the 12th house, which encompasses all of these energies. And so something deep from within your subconscious may be coming up to the surface for you to see and understand and reflect on at this time. And this is going to be very healing for you. So if you're feeling a little antisocial or you're needing more rest, you just want to bed rot for a little while, do it. Go for it. Virgo wants you to honor your body's needs, your mental needs, your emotional needs, your spiritual needs. Virgo wants us to honor all of these areas of health in whatever ways are calling to us. And so if you are feeling the call for all of those introspective, quiet, restful experiences at this new moon, please, please honor that, because it is going to be very healing for you to do so. And something really may, you make a deep connection if you allow yourself that quiet alone time. And that's interesting for Leos, right? Because Leos tend to be more extroverted. So it may not feel like this is you, but we all need time for rest. We all need time for quiet reflection. And so if that is calling to you at this new moon, please honor it. And I would love to hear how you experience that and how that goes for you. So now we are going to move to Virgo, which this Virgo new moon is happening in your first house, right? Because Virgo rising, it's all about the first house. And I just have to say a little something about this this adorable little beagle you see on the screen. This is Lucas. This is my dear friend Sarah's beagle. Lucas, he is the sweetest, cutest beagle on earth, and he inspired this depiction of Virgo. Okay, so Virgo, this is happening in your first house. This beautiful Virgo new moon is all about you. It's all about your sense of self. So please let the light just shine on you at this new moon. Really love on yourself. Listen to your intuition. What are you needing right now? What are you desiring right now? Take some quiet reflection moments just to reflect on how much healing you have been doing. Really acknowledge and validate that for yourself, that you are not the same person you were 6 months ago or a year ago or 2 years ago, right? You are ever evolving and growing and healing. And really just honor that journey that you've been on and give yourself some real deep self-love. And, that doesn't necessarily have to look like going for a spa day, right? Or, doing something that is an outer manifestation of that. If that feels good to you, totally go for it. Get a massage, get your hair done, get a pedicure, or go for a walk in nature, or take a bubble bath, or whatever, like whatever self-love looks like to you. But please also honor all that you've been through. And just as you would a best friend, treat yourself like your own best friend at this Virgo new moon. Okay? All right, so now we are going to move to Libra. And remember, Libra is the scales, right? Always wanting balance. And so this is happening in your second house. This Virgo new moon is showing up in your second house of self-worth, of value and self-value. Yes, the second house is also about the value of money, your values around money, the money that you make. But I also believe that it is deeply rooted. Remember, money is just an energy. And so this is deeply connected and rooted to your own self-worth and what you feel you deserve and what you feel that your value is and what you bring. So you're going to want to also take some time and think about what is your belief system around lack versus growth, lack versus abundance? Do you feel that you live an abundant life? And for Libras, Libras want things to be in balance. They don't feel safe and secure when things are chaotic. And so let's bring some balance to trusting your intuition, but also trusting your mind. Because remember, Libra is an air sign, very much in the mind. But let's bring some balance those scales between your intuition and the analytical thinking things through, right? And so that could really be coming up for you at this Virgo new moon. And if you take the lens of the healing coming from Virgo, how can you heal whatever is imbalanced, that's feeling imbalanced in your life at this time? That's also a really great question that the Libra risings can ask at this Virgo new moon. Okay, so now we're going to move to Scorpio. And Scorpio, this is showing up for you in your third house of communication. Now, the way I teach the third house is it's not just about the conversations that we have, right? How we communicate with others, but it's also our communication with our higher self. Okay, it is the way that we receive our intuitive messages. Remember, the third house is ruled by Mercury, which also rules Virgo, and it is the messenger of the gods. And so we receive, right? We receive those downloads from the divine. We receive those insights and those epiphanies in the third house. It's actually one of my favorite things about the third house. And so for Scorpios like to go deep and understand the why. And so you may really be feeling like you're making those deep connections for yourself at this Virgo new moon of why certain things had to play out the way they did for you. And that's going to bring a great amount of healing for you at this time. If you can look at anything that has happened to you, for you, right, on your path, that has been challenging, that has been hurtful, that has been difficult, and you can bring the lens of this Virgo healing energy to it, then you will have a new perspective in this third house. You will be learning. Third house is also about learning why things have had to happen the way they did so that you could grow and evolve in that way. And I feel that that can be extremely healing for you now at this Virgo. Okay, so now we're going to move to Sagittarius. And Sagittarius, this is happening for you in the fourth house. The fourth house of home, of your childhood memories, of your mother. It could also be you as a mother if you are a mother, and it could be showing up for you in that way. So for all the Sagittarius risings, this Virgo healing energy, the self-love and trusting your intuition, this could be very healing for you now about coming home to self. If you can think about the ways in which your life's experiences and your relationships and your childhood conditioning and experiences may have caused you to abandon yourself at certain times, this Virgo new moon is asking you to bring healing to that, to bring forgiveness, and to come back to self and say, this is why I had to experience those things as a kid. It was a foundation for me to then grow and heal from that place, right? Because remember, we all have the fourth house. We all have childhood experiences that have somehow shaped a foundation for us, contributed to some sort of conditioning or some sort of wounding, where we would thereby have a platform to grow and heal over the course of our life. And so Sagittarius, remember, is a fire sign, and you can tap into your inspiration, and you can tap into this expansion. Sagittarius is all about expansion. And so, so you're going to want to expand to a healing mindset at this Virgo. New Moon. Okay, so now we are going to move to the Capricorn risings. And for Capricorn risings, this is happening in your 5th house. And actually, I love this picture of the mermaid cat for Capricorn. It is so playful and fun and creative, isn't it? And that's what the 5th house is all about. Fun and creativity and romance and the inner child and yes, children, and think about like a happy inner child, right? Or the happy child that you may know or have known in your life who is just so tapped into source, right? And their imagination and play and fun and just being creative. This is a beautiful opportunity for my Capricorn risings to allow your creative side to just come out a little bit because it's going to be so healing for you to reconnect with your creative side. And we are all creative, all of us. We all have creativity within us in the deep wells of our being. We are creator beings, right? And that doesn't mean you have to be an artist and paint or draw or be crafty or whatever. Like we can create in infinite number of ways. Having ideas, that's creative. That is creativity at play. And so perhaps you want to allow something fun to come into your experience. Do something fun for you, whatever that may be, because it's going to be healing. It's going to open up a new healing door to your heart. That's what I really feel like for you. It's going to be healing for your inner child to just be light. Capricorns can have a little bit of struggle with just being light and airy, right? Where Capricorns are so grounded to the earth. And as I've always described Capricorn, because I'm a Capricorn moon, and so that the Capricorn is a sea goat, right? It's a goat that has a mermaid tail. And so Capricorns feel very deeply. They come up from the depths of the ocean and they ground on the earth and then they ascend the mountain. And so Capricorns can have a tremendous work ethic and be very serious and goal oriented. And this is all amazing and wonderful. And I love all of that for Capricorn. But you know what? Have a little fun too, because it can be very healing, especially at this Virgo new moon. Okay? Bringing that side to yourself, that's loving on yourself, is to bring a little fun and creativity into your world. Okay, my Capricorns? Okay, now we're going to move to beautiful Aquarius energy. And Aquarius, this new moon in Virgo is happening in your 6th house, which is ruled by Virgo. Okay, so this is like a double dose of Virgo energy because we have the Virgo new moon happening in your 6th house, which is ruled by Virgo in your chart. And so for Aquarius, you always think out of the box, right? You're not like all the others. You don't want to be a sheep. You don't want to follow. You want to do things your own way. And so I would say allow the Virgo healing energies and allow those intuitive hits to really come into your experience at this Virgo new moon and try to incorporate it into your everyday routine. Maybe be open to a new everyday routine where you can do something healing for yourself. Now, that could be a holistic healing where you're going to want to incorporate physical, emotional, mental, spiritual, or perhaps you have a lot of that down and there's just one that's really calling to you, like, I really want to focus on my physical healing at this new moon. Whatever's calling to you, you'll know. But set that intention and then really be open to receiving what is calling to you. You don't want to force anything like, oh, I really should join a gym. If you're not a gym person, don't join a gym, okay? Just be true to you, Aquarius, right? Like be true to beating your own drum and whatever feels good for you, what feels resonant for you, that's the path that you want to follow for your everyday routines where you can bring more healing. Maybe it's showing up as how you can be of service to yourself. Because remember, it always starts with ourself first. So I think that all of that can be very healing and bringing you back to that self-love at this Virgo new moon. Okay, and we're going to finish up here with Pisces. And so I absolutely love this one. The dog and the cat, I had to bring them together, right? Because Pisces are the two fish. And so Pisces is all about the oneness, being at one, that unity consciousness, the oneness that we are all a part of source energy, no matter what the expression is, right? No matter if it's that person, exhibiting road rage, as you're driving down the road, guess what? They have source energy within them too. Maybe they're not exhibiting that in that moment, but if we can remember that, we are able to then tap into our own higher vibration. And so for Pisces, this energy is happening in your 7th house. Now, I want to remind you that Pisces is across the sky from Virgo, right? They are on the health axis. And so it is all about the holistic health, the mind, body, spirit, all of it together. And Pisces is at one with everything in the universe. Our human self is at one with the blades of grass and the air and the sky and the oak tree and the birds and the oceans and the crickets and the lions and, literally everyone and everything. We are at one when we're in the highest expression of Pisces, and we can tap into that unconditional love. And that is a very wide and deep energy that I feel most of us, we really only scratch the surface of that in this human experience. But perhaps at this Virgo new moon, you can have, even if just for a few moments, even if just for a meditation or a journal entry, you can have unconditional love for yourself, for your journey, for the entirety of who you are, all the decisions you've made, all the ways you've shown up, all the iterations of yourself, your entire life. And to just have unconditional love for who you are in your entirety, the shadows and the illuminations. If you can love yourself unconditionally at this Virgo new moon, this is going to bring you into a new level of healing for yourself. And I really feel that no matter if you are a Pisces rising or not, if you have listened to the end of this video and you have come to this message, that we can all take this message to just for a moment have unconditional love for ourselves in every iteration of who we have been, in all of our choices, and to truly love our journey. I think that can be deeply healing for all of us. And so I'm going to wrap up this podcast. I hope that you like this new format and that it has resonated for you. I want to thank you so much for listening, for sharing your time and your energy with me. I'm wishing you a beautiful lunation filled with magic, love, and peace. And if you liked this video, please hit the like button, subscribe to my channel, share this with someone who you feel may be uplifted and empowered and who may need the support at this time. And I will see you soon under the moon. Bye-bye for now.